General Hospital spoilers tease that Willow Kane may be about to discover one brutal truth about Port Charles. When you try to blackmail a Cassadine, you had better be ready for the Cassadine to blackmail you back. And I have to say it right away, I do not want this storyline to be as simple as Valentin attacks Willow because she knows too much. That is too basic, too predictable, too easy. I want something sharper. I want Willow to think she is the mastermind. I want her to believe she has finally found the perfect way to control Nina, corner Valentin, and make Brennan owe her. Then I want Valentin to let her walk straight into a trap she created with her own arrogance. Because, in my opinion, that is the most satisfying version of this story. Willow has been moving like someone who believes consequences are optional. She threatens people, manipulates people, uses motherhood as a shield, and still expects everyone to treat her like the fragile, innocent woman she used to be. But let's be honest for a second, that Willow is gone. Or at least, she is buried under ambition, fear, and a terrifying need to control the room. So here is the revised direction I would take. Willow overhears Nina and Valentin talking, but not enough to understand the full plan. She catches fragments. Nina is helping Valentin. Brennan is being fed false information. Valentin's location is being protected. Charlotte is part of the emotional reason Nina is cooperating. And that is all Willow needs. Not the truth. Just enough truth to weaponize. Great, this is where the soap drama gets delicious. Instead of immediately running to Brennan like a panicked witness, Willow slows down. She thinks. She calculates. She realizes that if she exposes Nina's alliance with Valentin, she can make herself valuable to Brennan. She can offer him information. She can force him to bury the video evidence against Nina. She can demand protection for herself. Maybe she can even get Brennan to investigate Drew in a way that benefits her. But here is the part that makes Willow look truly dangerous. She knows Nina could be destroyed. And, she still moves forward. That, to me, is the line. I can understand Willow being angry at Nina. I can understand resentment. Nina has made awful choices, and she has spent years creating chaos because she wanted love, family, and forgiveness on her own terms. But Willow, using Nina as bait, Willow deciding that her own mother is acceptable collateral damage, that is not survival anymore. That is power. And yes, I know some fans may say, Willow is desperate. She is scared. She is trying to protect her children. I get it. I really do. But I also think the show has to stop letting Willow hide every ugly decision behind the words, my kids. At some point, protecting your children becomes the excuse you use when you do not want to admit you are protecting yourself. That is the Willow I want this storyline to explore. Not a helpless Willow. A dangerous Willow. She contacts Brennan, but she does it carefully. She does not say everything over the phone. She tells him she has proof Nina is helping Valentin mislead him. She hints that she may know where Valentin is hiding. She tells Brennan that if he wants the truth, he needs to meet her alone. Can you believe it? Willow is now trying to play Brennan and Valentin at the same time. That is either incredibly bold or incredibly stupid. Maybe both. And this is where Valentin becomes the scariest person in the room. Valentin realizes Willow heard more than Nina thinks. Nina, because she is emotional, wants to believe Willow can still be reasoned with. She wants to believe there is a daughter inside Willow who will not betray her completely. But Valentin knows better. He has watched people lie. For love. For power. For fear. For revenge. He recognizes the look in Willow's eyes. She is not asking for answers. She is shopping for leverage. So Valentin changes the board. He allows Willow to receive a fake location. Not obviously fake. Not sloppy. Something believable enough that Willow thinks she stole it, not received it. That is classic Valentin. He does not just block the threat. He makes the threat reveal itself. Now imagine Willow walking into what she believes is Valentin's hiding place. She has her phone. She has a message ready for Brennan. Maybe she has a recording prepared. She thinks she is about to become the woman who brings down Valentin Cassadine, but the room is empty. Then Valentin appears, calm, elegant, almost bored. That is the Valentin I want. Not shouting, not raging, just standing there like he has already read the final page of the chapter. He tells Willow he knew she would come. He tells her Nina begged him not to believe the worst of her. And then he says something that cuts deeper than any physical attack could. He says, "Your mother still thinks you are capable of choosing love over leverage. I do not." Oof, that is the line. That is the moment Willow realizes this is not a rescue, not a negotiation, and not a mistake. Valentin has trapped her. But Willow does not back down. That is what makes the scene work. She threatens him. She says Brennan will tear him apart. She says Nina will go down with him. She says Charlotte will never be safe as long as Valentin keeps hiding behind other people. And that is when Willow makes the one threat she should never make. She brings Charlotte into it. I think that is the trigger, because Valentin can tolerate people attacking him. He can tolerate people judging Nina. But Charlotte? No. That is the Cassadine nerve ending. That is where calculation becomes ice-cold instinct. Now, I would not make this a graphic or brutal scene. That would weaken it. I would make it controlled, tense, and morally ugly. Valentin moves to take Willow's phone. Willow refuses. They struggle. She tries to send the message to Brennan. Valentin knocks the phone away. Willow falls against a table or hits the edge of a chair. It is fast. It is messy. It is not a planned beating. It is a confrontation that turns physical because both of them are fighting to control the same secret. Willow collapses. Silence. And here is why I like this version better. Valentin did not simply attack Willow like a cartoon villain. He created the trap, yes. He cornered her, yes. He tried to stop her, yes. But Willow's own aggression, arrogance, and refusal to back down are part of what causes her downfall. That makes the aftermath more complicated. And soap opera lives in complication. Now, let me be brutally honest. I think many viewers would feel a guilty thrill watching Willow finally lose control. Not because Valentin is a hero. He is not. But because Willow has been moving through this story, like she can destroy people and still demand sympathy afterward, I am tired of that version of Willow. I want accountability. I want the show to ask whether a person can be wounded and still become harmful. Because yes, they can. Willow's past matters. Her cult trauma matters. Her fear of losing her family matters. But pain does not automatically make someone noble. Sometimes pain becomes a weapon. Sometimes the person who once escaped manipulation learns how to manipulate others. That is the dark poetry of this storyline. Years ago, Willow was tied to Dawn of Day, a cult built on control, pressure, secrecy, and emotional dominance. She knew what it meant to be trapped by someone else's narrative. And now look at her. She is trapping Nina with guilt. She is trapping Drew with medical control. She is trying to trap Brennan with political pressure. She is trying to trap Valentin with information. That's crazy. The victim of control has become addicted to control. That is not bad writing if the show leans into it. That is tragedy. And Nina becomes the emotional center of this mess. When Nina finds Willow unconscious, she panics. Of course she does. That is her daughter. But then she sees Willow's phone. She sees the drafted message to Brennan. She sees the proof that Willow was going to expose her, Valentin, and possibly endanger Charlotte. Nina freezes. And I love that moment because it is pure Nina Reeves. Her heart wants to call for help immediately. Her survival instinct wants to delete the message first. Which one wins? I think Nina deletes the message. Not because she does not love Willow. She does. That is exactly why this is so twisted. Nina loves Willow, but she also finally sees that Willow was willing to sacrifice her. That realization should break something inside Nina. For years, Nina has chased motherhood like it was salvation. First, with the fantasy of a daughter. Then, with the Sasha deception Valentin created. Then, with the painful truth of Nell. Then, with Willow. Nina has always wanted a child to choose her, forgive her, need her. But what happens when the daughter she fought so hard to love becomes the person most willing to destroy her? That is brutal. And I would argue this is where Nina finally needs to stop begging. I know Nina can be selfish. I know she creates her own disasters. But I am tired of watching her crawl for Willow's approval. At some point, Nina has to say, I love you, but I will not let you use me. That would be growth. Meanwhile, Brennan should not be written like a fool. He should suspect everything. If Willow suddenly misses the meeting, he should know something happened. If Nina acts nervous, he should smell blood. Brennan is not just a random bureaucrat. He is a WSB operator. He understands pressure, deception, and timing. So when Willow wakes up, Brennan should be there. Not as a concerned ally. As a predator waiting for a wounded animal to speak. And Willow? Oh, I would make her terrifying in that hospital bed. She wakes up confused, sees Nina, then sees Brennan. For 1 second, she realizes the message is gone. Her proof is gone. Her leverage is gone. So what does she do? She lies. Or maybe she tells half the truth, which is even worse. She says Valentin attacked her because Nina helped him. She leaves out the part where she planned to sell Nina out. She leaves out the part where she threatened Charlotte. She leaves out the part where she walked into that trap because she wanted power. And suddenly, Willow is the victim again. That is the cliffhanger I want. Because now Valentin has stopped the immediate threat, but he has created a bigger one. Willow without evidence was dangerous. Willow with a hospital bracelet and a victim narrative is nuclear. My personal prediction? If General Hospital plays this correctly, the story becomes less about whether Valentin hurt Willow, and more about who gets to control the truth afterward. Valentin will claim Willow tried to betray everyone. Willow will claim Valentin attacked her to silence her. Nina will know both versions are partly true, and Brennan will use every single lie to tighten his grip. That is the kind of messy, morally gray Port Charles drama I want to see. Not heroes and villains. People making terrible choices and then acting shocked when the consequences arrive. And if I'm being completely honest, I think Willow's downfall is overdue. I do not need her destroyed forever. I do not need her turned into a one-note villain. But I do need the show to stop pretending she is still the moral center of every room she enters. She is not. Right now, Willow is one of the most dangerous kinds of characters in soap opera. A person who believes she is righteous while doing unforgivable things. And Valentin? He may be the wrong man to stop her, but sometimes in Port Charles, the wrong man is the only one willing to do what everyone else is too afraid to do. The final image should be simple. Willow in the hospital bed, Nina standing beside her, devastated, Brennan watching from the doorway, and Valentin somewhere in the shadows, realizing that taking Willow down did not end the war. It started it, cut to black. Now that is a Friday cliffhanger.